Hey everyone, welcome back to Dr. Lisa's Sulsenti Podcast. I am Dr. Lisa, and today we are going to be talking about something that affects every single person, and it is sleep. I feel like many of us don't actually prioritize it enough, but sleep isn't just rest. It's a superpower your body uses to heal, balance hormones, support your immune system, improve gut health, and even detoxify your body. And the truth is, poor sleep can sabotage everything else you're doing to stay healthy, from diet and exercise, stress management, and yes, gut health. When you're sleeping, so much goes on. The body's actually repairing itself, detoxifying itself, right? Boosting the immune system. It's doing a lot of the healing while you're quiet. When we sleep, it doesn't just shut down. It's actually working harder than when you, I think, are awake. I don't know. I'm laughing because we don't realize when we sleep, the body is working hard. Hormones like cortisol, melatonin, growth hormones, they're balanced and they're optimized during sleep. Your gut repairs itself and microbiome balance improves. So all the work you're doing with me during the day is actually working itself at night. So if you're not doing anything, right, and you're doing bad things during the day, the body's actually struggling to try to repair itself at night. But think about if you're working with me and you're like, oh my gosh, I've been working so hard at this. And even if you feel like you're just not yet where you want to be, all the good stuff you're doing during the day, the body is taking in and doing its good stuff at night. The immune system strengthens, helps your body fight infections, inflammation, those detoxification pathways, especially the liver and the gut, they ramp up while you rest. So that's really, really important. All the good things during the day benefit their body at night. Remember that. If you're taking anything away on this podcast, I would take that away because it's really good in the brain to be like, oh, I'm working so hard. I'm trying to eat healthy and I'm trying to work on my gut, right? And I'm doing what Dr. Lisa said, or maybe you're working out, right? And you're just like, sometimes just in your head, because I get there, I'm just like, I look at my body and I'm like, oh, this working out, is it really doing anything? And then, it is. You're doing such good in the day that you're giving your body all it needs at night to do the repairing. And the flip side of that is if you're doing damage during the day, you're really harming the body. It's like really an over repair and freaking out at night. So without good sleep, you might notice a persistent fatigue, being tired all the time, a brain fog, irritability, tiredness, just a lack of, lust or just like, weight gain or that difficulty losing weight. And especially if, we talked about the seasons of life, if you're in the perimenopause or the menopause, you start seeing that belly that just won't go. Hormonal imbalances, this includes thyroid and reproductive hormones, infertility, stuff like that, endometriosis, just think about hormone problems. And of course, digestive issues, bloating, constipation, the leaky gut stuff, the inflammation, the itises, things like that. So without good sleep, sometimes you see these things during the day. All right, what disrupts sleeps? What's going on? What's keeping people from getting a good night's sleep, a restorative sleep? So there's the difference. That's what I want you to take away. Is your body restoring at night or trying to put out the fires that you created during the day? Is it doing damage control or is it restoring? And I think that's really important. And I want that to be your motivator because all the good things you're doing in the day, then it's more, it's more restorative. But if you're doing bad things toward the day, it's more doing damage control. Here's some culprits. Let's think about these. Of course, the electronics and the blue light exposure late at night is a problem. I know we all know this, but I still do it. You still get on that phone right before you go to sleep, right? You're still looking because it's fun, right? I don't know. It's fun. Whether you're shopping or watching funny things, I like to watch the comedians before you go to bed. Or I think the phone is worse than the television. So the blue light is a problem. It messes with melatonin, and melatonin is the hormone to help you sleep. You need a balance in that. You can't have too much melatonin or not enough because sometimes when people take it, they get super groggy. So the blue light exposure you might want to cut back. They say to cut that back, especially with kids, an hour, 2 hours before bed. I know we used to read to our kids. You might still do that, but my kids are older. So I'm not saying that you don't. I'm saying I used to read to my kids. My kids are in their 20s and at night. And even I used to read more at night instead of the phone, and it makes you more tired. It uses a different part, of your brain, and it takes out that blue light and that's something about that screen and that print. So, maybe get back to reading. It really, really helps. The blue light also, you can buy, don't quote me on this because I don't have this down perfectly, but I know people do. You could buy glasses for the blue light, and there's screens that can go on your thing, but still give yourself maybe a break from electronics. Just a healthy thing to do an hour or 2 hours before bed. Stress and elevated cortisol, that can actually keep your mind racing. So if you're dealing with stress in your life, again, that's not always easy to control, because when things are going down and stuff is happening that you have no control over, the only thing you can really control is how you're responding to it, how you're reacting to it. And that is a lifetime of learning. So that's methods to really deal with stress, to elevate or de-elevate your cortisol. When cortisol's up, it's very hard to sleep. When your nervous system is in that fight or flight, right, it's very hard to sleep. So the mind's racing, or sometimes you could feel it when you're laying there and your nervous system's racing. So anxiety, stress, overthinking, not being able to calm down your mind, you want to work on that. And obviously that's obvious, but those are things that you really want to do. Look for self-help books. That helps me a lot. And now you're reading this before bed. Prayer really works for me. That's the biggest thing. You asked me, Dr. Lisa, how do you get rid of your stress? I would be an absolute mess. I told somebody I'd probably be in some hospital somewhere if I didn't have God, if I didn't have the Lord. I don't know where I'd be, because I know I have this ability to be very anxious. I'm an overthinker. And I'm an empath, obviously, because of the field I'm in, right? So I'm always worrying and thinking about everyone else. And I can tell you, I tell patients, let me think about this, because it sometimes comes to me in the middle of sleep. I wake up and I solve something, or I think of something for the patient, or I'm in the shower and I'm literally oh my gosh, I should have done this, or I should tell them this. So sometimes my brain overplays or replays things conversations I've had with patients where when you're having a conversation like I am right now, and I'm talking off the top of my head, not everything comes to your brain, right? So when you're talking to a patient and it's in real time and it's real, you might think of things later. So my mind replays things. So I'm definitely an overthinker, and I like to solve problems. So God helps me with this tremendously. So many times, if not all, I pray. And what I pray is this. I say, hey, God, take this. Hey, please take it. I'm giving it to you. I'm surrendering it to you. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to figure this out, right? So if I'm having a problem with, I'm not sure, I'm trying to think of a recent thing where I was just I can't figure this one out anymore. You do it. I know I did it recently, but I can't think right now because, again, off the top of my head. I can't figure this out. I'm surrendering this to you. May this go according to your will and not mine. And you please help me with me wanting it to go to my will. I say this every morning when I wake up. I say, God, I leave this day into your hands. May it go according to your will and not mine. And then I follow up with, and please help me with wanting it to go according to my will. Because I know every day I'm going to try to control everything. So leaving it up to the Lord, leaving it up to the universe, just let it go. Because there's just things that you can't do. The anxiety is based upon fear. It's based upon what hasn't happened yet and most likely isn't going to happen. But all of these things that run through our head, all these fears, all these things that have not occurred yet. So that is anxiety. Stress can come from something that's real, right in front of you, and things that you can't control. So there's a fine line there. Okay, sleep disruptors also can be poor gut health, because gut makes the neurotransmitter. So 90% of your serotonin is made in the gut. And so hence, this is where melatonins come from, is these neurotransmitters. So they regulate sleep. If you have too much serotonin and it's not getting broken down, that's actually very common. Believe it or not, that process of having too much serotonin or not enough serotonin is coming from the gut. Just like we talked about GLP-1s in the podcast before this, the gut, there's cells in the gut wall that produce GLP-1. And if the gut's not working properly, that production gets messed up. So you don't always need GLP-1 medication. You need a healthy gut to produce the GLP-1. It's the same things with the neurotransmitters. The gut produces serotonin and other neurotransmitters. And you need a healthy gut to regulate this, in order to have the serotonin, to break it down, to get melatonin, which is the compound that you need for sleep, right? So the gut health is really, really important with sleep and being able to be out of the fight or flight, being able to have enough melatonin, and actually it also works with cortisol, so to bring down your stress. Sometimes all of that's just related to poor gut health. You also, with your gut, you need to absorb the nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, the antioxidants, the amino acids that you need to balance the brain, to balance cortisol, to get yourself out of fight or flight and this overthinking. So think about your gut health. It's super, super, super important in this scenario. Caffeine before bed, alcohol before bed, certain medications before bed can interfere with the deep sleep. And also environmental factors like the temperature, the noise of the room, the light. Red light therapy is supposed to be great. I've been doing that at the gym after I work out. It's absolutely phenomenal. They have this machine where you go in it. It's got the vibration plate and the red light, and you stand up. And it takes away the soreness that I have after a workout. I even could do it the next day after workout when I'm sore. I bought a vibration plate, and that really helps with pain because I've been having, never had in my life, really starting to have like muscle and joint pain that I think is from the lack of estrogen. So I got the vibration plate, helps tremendously. The vibration plate also helps with, they say breaking down fat. I didn't really get it for that, even though I could use that, but it's really more for, it stimulates the muscles, the nervous system, in the sense of in your bottom of your feet, it stimulates that, and that really helps proprioception and balance and lymph drainage. It really helps with stuff like that. So I find the vibration plate, the red light therapy helps. I do have a white noise machine, but they say brown noise is better for like if you have a snorer or something with a low tone. But the noise machines help with sleep. The setting of your room, check your room out. Also, I'm going to challenge you too, is look for things in your house that could be environmentally toxic and leading to your toxic load. We're going to be having a course coming out on this and trying to walk you through each room and what could be toxic and how you can swap it out naturally. But that's another thing to be looking at, like what's toxic. For example, are your sheets or are the things you're buying toxic? Are they keeping you up? Is there mold in your bathroom, near your bed, in your bedroom? There's things like that. There's also food problems. So I have this theory with my husband, if he has a beer or some pretzels before bed, he's sneezing all night, and he can't clear his throat. And so could be a food sensitivity that's keeping you up. So environmental factors, food factors, gut health, electronics, and then light help, light exposure. The last thing I can say here too, and this might be obvious, but if you get white light, which is the sunlight, if you get that during the day, if you get out in the morning or the afternoon, if you're afraid of the afternoon, the 12 o'clock sun, you want to get white light. You want to take your eyeglasses, sunglasses off, and you want the light to hit the cones and the rods in your eyes. It helps the brain. So you also can do grounding. Grounding helps out a lot. So that is getting the socks off, get the rubber sneaker shoes off, and get your feet into the sand or into the earth, into the grass. And grounding, getting the gravitational pull from the earth helps settle your nervous system. So a lot of it is getting into nature, getting out in the sun, getting your feet in the ground, and a little exercise every day or every other day really helps you sleep better. That I feel is important. So what are some other things you can do? A consistent sleep schedule helps. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day helps regulate your cardiac rhythm. Not always possible, but that is something that is important. We did that with our babies, try to get them on a schedule. It's still good for adults. The bedroom environment, again, we talked about, is it too hot? And if you're going through menopause too, there's some tricks we could help you with that. But cool, dark, quiet, tech-free bedroom. We talked about supporting your gut, reducing your stress. Exercise is actually pretty important. And you could journal. I'm not a good journaler. I used to do this. I used to like kind of write in a diary type of thing when I was going through a really, really rough patch. I had to get out the hurt. I had to get out the anger and the frustration. And I had to get it on paper. I wound up burning it so nobody ever found what I wrote, but I had to get it out because I was going through a really bad time. So journaling does help in getting out the thoughts, getting out the feelings. Some people do therapy, but I just journaled because I had to get it out. I didn't need to, it wasn't solvable. I actually was going to a therapist, but the problem was what my son was going through with school. It wasn't really solvable because the people that were in control were doing the wrong things, lying and breaking laws, and just, it was horrible. And I really just had to get out the feelings. Don't keep those feelings in. They don't do you well. If you're being wronged or you're being hurt or somebody's doing something bad to you, you can't control them, but you can control you and your feelings. Get them out. Don't let them fester in there and cause stress and inflammation and cancer and things like that. And of course, be mindful of food and drink. That's always important. Are you eating crappy? If you're going through fast foods, if you're going through eating restaurants every day, if you're ordering foods, you're not cooking, you're not mindful of what you're eating, you're not getting your vitamins and your nutrients, your sleep isn't going to be good. And you can consider natural supplements if needed. We can always go over that. You can consider functional medicine support, and you can definitely reach out to me. Why does this matter? Sleep is completely foundational. If you're eating clean, taking supplements, exercising, getting in the sun, managing your stress, right? But you're still struggling, your sleep might be the missing piece. So we have to look at restorative things. If you're doing all these good things during the day and you're like, but I'm still not sleeping, we have to look at your gut health. What is going on? Is there a food that's triggering it? Is there something in the room that's triggering it? Are your hormones not right? So these things that restorative sleep, it depends on reducing inflammation, balancing hormones, improving gut health, right? Looking at detoxification. Is there a root cause somewhere in there, in that gut, that's causing you not to be able to sleep while you're doing everything else correctly? Think of sleep as the reset button that your body desperately needs every night. It's really not optional. It's essential. So if you're having problems with that, please don't feel like you're alone. It's your superpower. Sleep is your superpower. If you're struggling with it and you want to learn more about natural ways to support it, really just reach out to me. We can do a consultation and we can work through just that topic. Again, the consultation doesn't mean you have to buy labs, but we might discuss a lab that might benefit you if you have something going on in your health. That's why the consultations with me are so important, because I dive really deep into you, your health concerns, your lifestyle, and see what plan is best for you. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. I also have a newsletter if you don't want to miss out on events and promos. I thank you so much for listening today, and I hope this episode helps you. And if you know of anyone else that might need help with sleep, send them this episode. Well, I'll see you at the next one. Thank you.